Well, happy Tuesday, folks, and happy Dork Discourse, everybody. Fear not, Tom shall be joining us. We will not be Tomless. He shall be here very shortly, but until then, you're stuck with me, folks. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope y'all are having a great week. Shout out to all the OGs in the chat, Pregame and Sean, Charlie, Daddy Josh, Julian. Oh, there's the door. I told y'all he would be here momentarily. Charlie. Who's all here? Who's all here? It's our usual gang, our besties. What up, crew? What up, squad? Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Visitor Zeta, let's go. Good to see you all. Where's Tom? Don't worry, he will be here. Also, Daddy Josh, I love how you were changing the lights before we even went live. I'm digging the blue, though. The blue vibes. I actually had it set to red because we're talking Tales of the Empire today, but I low-key love... The blue is my favorite. I think it just sets a good... It's pleasing on the eye, right? Isn't blue, like, psychologically a very comforting hue? I don't know. I think it is. Albo M, what's up? Hey, Padme, hello, you. Sal, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you all so much for coming back. Apologies in advance. I know we were hyping up. The week snuck up on us, and I don't think either of us realized this morning when I asked what should we do for Dork Discourse. Freaking forgot. It's our 50th freaking episode. Totally forgot.
It is our 50th.
Totally
episode.
Freaking forgot.
It is the 50th.
Forgot. Toads forgot. And after we logged off last week, guys, we were like, we gotta do something big. It's gonna be 50. What are we gonna do? We had ideas. We were maybe gonna do some like trivia. Those of you who follow Tom on McBots, you've seen his little punishment wheel. We were maybe gonna have some like challenges or something, some sort of trivia game, but perhaps we can have like a 50th episode special next week to make up for this. So that was that's me. That's my bad. Totes forgot. It's too late now. It's too late. It's too late. No, we need to have something actually.
We can keep the same items on here.
No.
For those who might be familiar, we got physical punishments.
No. We need to have something. We will have something actually planned, not friggin' off the cuff. We're gonna do something. Just totally forgot to do that something this week. Have you seen the new Outlaws trailer? No, that official gameplay, or rather the official storyline trailer just came out. I've not watched it. Let me know if I should react to it. I didn't see it like blowing up entirely with views a couple hours ago, earlier today, but let me know if I should film a reaction. Aiden, what's up? Good to see you. Yes, those of you who are familiar with McBots, you recognize the wheel, but totally forgot. At least we have an exciting episode topic this evening. We're gonna be well, now it's too dark.
Well, it's blinding the life out of me.
Well, adjust it a little bit. We have an exciting topic this evening. Of course, we're going to be chatting about Tales of the Flipping Empire, as the title suggests. Fresh trailer last week, which was a little bit of a surprise, but supposed to be short, but a welcome one. I had to had to recite the
Yeah.
full-fledged quote. It's an eclipse. Yeah. Who was it? Oh my gosh. Kyle Katarn, if you guys follow him, he's obviously great. If you follow me, you probably follow him. He's like one of the top Star Wars reaction channels, but he's hilarious on Twitter, and he tweeted yesterday, if you go outside and look at the eclipse, that's as close as you'll ever get to Star Wars eclipse. I was like, dang it. Jerry, what's up? Good to see you. But yes, hopefully, if you did have, if you were in the line of view, if you did have good visuals of the eclipse yesterday, I hope it was everything you wanted it to be and more. Here in SoCal, we didn't really have anything to what would a word be?
It was about 40% coverage, 40% peak coverage. So, still cool, but not total blackout zone that I'm sure some of you were in. I know some people here, in the Texas to Chicago to Midwestern areas, which is basically where the path was up through Western New York. So
it was incredible, says Sal. I'm glad if you were able to get a good look at it. I'm enjoying people's pictures day after. But I saw a partial eclipse here, says Sean. It was cool. Got a couple of cool photos. That is awesome. Happy to hear it.
Yeah.
But yes, we're gonna jump on in. So everyone's saying the Outlaws trailer is cool. So perhaps I will film a reaction. When is it? No, don't say anything. I'm sure hopefully the release date dropped with the trailer, but I mean, you could say it in the chat. But I'm excited. That's supposed to come out this year. And here we are already April, like midway through April. So come on. I'm trying to play a new game. We didn't have a total blackout here in Chicago, but it did get pretty dark. Yeah. That's cool though. Nice. That's still cool. Yeah, I can only imagine what it would have been like to be in the total blackout areas. I feel like that would have freaked me out.
I guess it went through more Ohio total blackout, so it's a little east of.
It did get dimmer.
Illinois.
Yes. Well, exciting. Well, we still have some exciting, lots of Star Wars news now here, obviously with Outlaws as well. They're just piling on, getting us ready. May the 4th is about to be popping off. Cheers all. Cheers to you, Saber Smith.
Yes,
welcome.
Cheers indeed.
Thanks for hanging out. But yes, Tales of the Empire, the bait and switch of the century. Did not see that coming.
Yeah. Came out of nowhere.
Did anybody know about this? Was this even... Because I know we were all... I hope they... it's... I don't know, it's interesting because we were all hypothesizing and theorizing and coming up with, ideas of who we would want to see next if they had continued Tales of the Jedi following, anthological Jedi stories, exploring some, perhaps, more mysterious characters. I know Baylan Skoll was a very popular demand following Ahsoka if they did continue Tales of the Jedi. Patrick Kelly, what's up? Good to see you.
Yeah, what's going on?
Long time no see. Happy to have you here. So it is interesting because I'm excited about Tales of the Empire, but at the same time, I know there were so many different Jedi that people wanted to see other stories if they had continued with that. I was expecting Tales of the Sith, says Albo. Perhaps that will be the next edition, the next installment. But if anything, I hope that they make them lengthier and kind of continue. I don't think they would go back now. I don't think they're going to fluctuate and reverse course and go back and do, all right, a few more seasons down the line. And I mean, maybe they would do a Tales of the Jedi 2.0, like have some other variations, other storylines, other characters, but I just want, the positive reception, that trailer was trending within like an hour on YouTube. Like this content, that short form Tales of the Jedi content was so stellar. I think some of the most unanimously praised Star Wars content in recent history here, which is like, can't say that for much.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the recent Star Wars content has been rather not divisive, but polarizing. People have mixed opinions versus, I think, Tales of the Jedi and Count Dooku's storyline in particular was very widely received with positive reception. Bird Church, remember, for 15 months. Let's go!
Bird Church.
Thank you so much, my friend. I wanted Grievous and Maul Origins, but I'm also happy with the trailer and characters we got. I want a General Grievous origin story so freaking badly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if they'd be able to actually execute it because it's probably like gruesome, the process of. Because what does he start out as? He starts off as a different species.
Yeah, just an alien.
He's literally
He's a
like a
Kalish.
living being. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. The process of morphing from that into what he becomes, like half sentient, half robot, like what still beating heart, but like no actual other living like organisms. Like I don't even know if they'd be able to show that. That
They would show it. They showed Anakin burning alive
that
with
was
limbless, chapped skin.
before times. When has Star Wars done anything that visceral recently?
Never.
That raw and scary.
Vader snapping that kid's neck.
That's actually true. Kenobi.
Granted, blood didn't start spewing out the side of it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he didn't rip his head clean off.
They can't do that.
Wow.
I don't think they would do that.
Just force rip a head off.
Ah, ew.
Force choke, but snap the neck and rip the head off.
Ooh, Sal's coming in with the. We gotta send this list to Lucasfilm. We could do Tales of the Sith, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, the Crime Syndicates, the Pirates, the Mandalorians, the Droids, the Clones. All could be great future installments. That's actually so true. There's a literally limitless. They have endless opportunities here. So you know what? Literally, we gotta send this in writing to Lucasfilm and be like, please don't ever stop. Because the other thing is, this is coming, I'm excited about the news of this, but it kind of isn't necessarily going to entirely fill the void because all the episodes drop on the same day, which is actually quite nice. But then we binged it all, last year and then it was over.
Yeah.
I need a little more certainty, a little more ongoing assurance that Star Wars animation is going to be revived here and keep going. I know there's rumors, following, of course, Bad Batch is about to be wrapped up within mere weeks. And I know there's rumors about spin-offs potential from that. But still no assurance yet, no confirmation. So of course I'm happy. I hope they continue the Tales of series to just keep some sort of life, some sort of heartbeat going with the animation here.
It's great. I mean, I think they have, and all presumably four story arcs that they've given us in Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Empire. You got Ahsoka, Dooku, the Magistrate, and
Morgan Elsbeth and Barris
yes,
Hoppy.
and Barris, yeah.
Yes.
She's the Magistrate.
She is technically.
So yeah, like you got four stories about those four characters, and all four stories are beginning, middle, end, presumably with the two that we haven't gotten yet. But they're really awesome stories, and I think that this form of storytelling allows them to tell a really good story, but they don't have to meet network obligations to have a full-fledged season and fill it with Sid and stuff like that. So
why'd you have to say her name?
You can. Yeah, I think it's great. I think if they have these stories that they really want to tell, they can just do it in standalone fashion, and they're not kind of found by, oh, we've got to create like all new characters and then build this story and then figure out how to weave them in just to tell the story we really want to tell. Like they can just focus on exactly what characters, what stories they want to tell. So I think it's great. Whatever stories they focus on, whether it is Jedi, Sith, or other factions of people in the Star Wars universe.
That is a good point, and I think one kind of takeaway from Tales of the Jedi, those installments, was that quality, dwarfs quantity any day when it comes to Star Wars. Like, they were so short and brief, but like I had said in my reaction to the Tales of the Empire trailer, those Count Dooku episodes, some of them were literally 15 minutes or less, and it was still some of like the most jaw-dropping, some of the most memorable Star Wars content, just showing that different lens, that different perspective. So it will definitely, I think that storyline was so well liked and so popular. Obviously, Ahsoka's amazing. Don't get me wrong. She's great. Everyone already knows she's great. And so going into, versus Dooku, for example, showing his origins and how he slowly, morphs into where we meet him eventually in his final form, a Sith Lord.
Headless?
And that too, but it's showing the process of how someone's moral compass can be so corrupted that they completely change sides. And it will be interesting to see, like, how does a person like Morgan Elsbeth start out. We obviously know Barriss. This is actually, I wanted to I know this has been a huge talking point.
This is gonna be the poll.
Oh,
This is my poll
I stole
idea.
your poll.
You
Well, maybe we
did.
can do the early poll. We can have an early poll for once. Will Lord Vader eliminate Barriss?
And this is the most talked about thing, I think, that I've seen in the
Yeah.
follow on from the trailer.
Yes.
I think it makes total sense. I mean, you and I have talked about this a couple times since the trailer came out. And I mean, who better to kill Barriss than the person who almost killed her in the Jedi Temple, but didn't because he was bound by the Jedi way and the Jedi Order and law and ethics and all that good stuff. But then that same character, in a short time later, throws all that way out the window, literally eliminated Jedi from the equation, eliminated the Republic from the equation. There's no law. He's above the law. There's no ethics. He threw his ethics and moral compass way out the window. So why would he hold back on Barriss?
Everyone's pretty in agreement. Yes, I think he will, says Matthew. You will try. What a great username. Also agrees. Yes, he will. He should. She'll remind him of the past, says Patrick Kelly. He has an old score to settle with her for framing Ahsoka. That's my only hold up before I get into it. Daddy! Remember, for 27 months. Holy shnikes, master level. Let's freaking go. Thank you so much, my friend. What is up? Shoutouts to both of you for having the energy to host a show and use brain power. You act as if we're running a marathon here. This is like the most fun part of our week. Oh. I just got off work and I feel like my brain has been brought to a slow and steady, like a Sunday roast. Yeah, realistically, it's Tom who deserves most of the praise because he too works a full day. As a work from home person, I'm not confined to an office all day and then coming to do this. So somebody said you had Clark Kent vibes earlier because they couldn't recognize you with the glasses on. Yes, Tom's been repping his glasses a lot lately, trying to lay off the contacts. Yep. So yeah, you actually haven't worn your glasses for a Dork Discourse probably for a long time.
Last week.
Never mind. Anyway,
for sure I wore them last week too.
Vader will obliterate Barriss. Yep, he can now take his revenge, says Lord Fel. Here's my only holdup is, yes, it would be in the name of, like, it would come from a place motivated by trying to avenge Ahsoka and what Barriss put his Padawan through. And that was like a turning point for Anakin, the rage being driven to the brink, losing his Padawan, and Barriss is kind of the source of that. She is to blame. And my holdup, though, is I feel like we have to look. Yes, part of me would wager that a fresh Vader, where Anakin's still in there, he's still learning the ropes. A fresh Lord Vader, I think, would definitely do something hasty like that. Blink of an eye, no question. Like, take that revenge. Because it's still raw. It's still fresh. Versus how long do we think the process of training to become an Inquisitor is my question. If I had a better idea of, like, is Barriss training, how long do they train them for? A week, a month, a year? I imagine it is a grueling process that doesn't necessarily happen overnight. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm sure we'll maybe get some indication of what that timeline looks like or what that training process looks like. But my holdup is Vader, when we meet him, spoiler alert, for Star Wars Rebels,
That's after Kenobi. The first thing we see of him is Kenobi. That's right smack
okay,
in the middle.
But this has to do with Ahsoka. The Vader we see in Twilight of the Apprentice is actively trying to kill Ahsoka. Nope, there's even the little...
So he would revive Barriss? I think he wants to kill everything in his past.
Maybe.
Not revive, spare Barriss?
My point is, if he were to kill Barriss, it would come from a place of having lingering resentment towards her because of what she did to Ahsoka, and I only think a Vader is capable of that if he's fresh if it's still fresh, if this is only a 3-month-old Darth Vader, you know, versus that Lord Vader
Baby
further down the line is actively trying to murder Ahsoka. So, like, that's my only holdup. It's like, well, how much longer does he cling to his past? How much longer is Anakin's thought process and relationships and memories steering the wheel, you know, dictating his decisions? Dave, thank you so much, my friend. Cat and Tom.
Dave!
You know I'm an OG fan and saw all the Star Wars films in the theaters. Will you both go to see the originals in the theaters next month? Is this for the big marathon that's happening? Because we looked at tickets. There's, if in case you don't know, what day is that happening? Is that May the 4th exactly?
I think so.
On May the 4th, select theaters are literally marathon screening every single Star Wars film, you know, all 9 of them.
All 9 saga films.
All the way through. And tickets are like $150. It was bonkers when we actually looked. So
it's worth it. It's less than $15 a movie.
It's so much money. It's a lot of money.
And we haven't seen 6 of those 9 movies in the movie theater.
I know.
So both of us have not seen any of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ever in the movie theater. Both of our first Star Wars film in the theater was The Force Awakens.
I kind of don't like that label. No, but that's sad but true. So I don't know. I don't know if we ever made a resolute decision on whether we're gonna bite the bullet and do that. That's also gonna be literally like so taxing. I feel like I think I could handle 4 movies in a row, back to back to back.
I'll go for 1. I'll pay $150 to see
just
one of
for
them.
Revenge of the Sith.
Just to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters, I'd pay $150.
I don't think I could do all 9. That
I would do it.
If you're signed up for that, let us know. If you actually bought tickets for that big May the 4th marathon day, we still have to secure our tickets to go see I know the Phantom Menace is premiering. We have to get our tickets for that, which would be fun.
Definitely gonna see that for sure.
To get the feel of watching the originals in the theaters. Barriss will be the one capturing Luminara. Oh, Dave, that's a good prediction. I think did you mention that, or I think I might have seen that on Twitter. She will be the one to capture Luminara, making her wear her prison outfit. Blah 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 blah. Sorry, I lost the chat. That we saw in Rebels when she was introduced to Kanan and Ezra. That is a good point. We know that somebody gets Luminara.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Either as bait.
A wild.
That would actually be a really good arc. If the Inquisitors use Barriss as bait to draw Luminara out, and then they just capture her.
But that's also such just like a good test. Like, prove your worth and allegiance and eliminate, if they're still alive, your former master.
Yeah.
That's what they were going to do with Trilla and Seer.
Yeah.
They totally brought Trilla there to probably kill Seer. Now that I'm thinking about it.
And they just killed Trilla anywhere.
No, I'm talking about in the flashback Seer has Cal has that moment, his vision where he touches Trilla's blade and he sees her flashbacks. And when she completes her Inquisitor training and they present her to Seer, who's imprisoned still. They totally probably brought her there to kill Seer, like test her worth. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. But no, that's a good one too. There has to be some sort of, you know, I don't necessarily need there to be an answer as to why all of the other Inquisitors that are featured in the trailer, at least, we recognize and eventually see them down the line in other projects. There was what sister is that? I should know her number, but we see her in Kenobi
with the little
thingies,
dangly, like they look like little calamari.
What?
Or calamari.
Oh my god. Her calamari hair.
Calamari hair, yeah.
Yes, we see her in Kenobi.
Dangling squid tentacles.
Marok was there. The Inquisitor who Ahsoka eliminates in Tales of the Jedi is there. But, you know.
Jerry. Barriss will get stabbed in the stomach by Vader and survive. Vader's good at that. He knows exactly where to stab him, so they
just pain,
so they just
but survive
with pain and suffering.
I think Vader will kill her, says You Will Try. Barriss is no longer seen later in Rebels. That's right. Not in Kenobi, not in Ahsoka. And I also think that is Palpatine's plan with Barriss to test Vader, how he deals with his past. You make a good point, though. Barriss, I know leading up to Ahsoka, before we knew who Marok was, and we only saw that figure in the trailer, this mysterious other Inquisitor, she has definitely been posed as a potential, should she still be alive, opponent / antagonist for Ahsoka. So will they come and remedy this argument of, oh, what happens to Barriss? We never see her down the future. She must be killed by Vader. Would they maybe save her? Are they saving her for Ahsoka, in the future? I don't know. I don't know if I want that. I think they need to focus all their attention on...
You want her to just get butchered in the show?
I just think... I would prefer them to just focus all of their attention on Thrawn. I think they still have some work to do to kind of compensate for not lackluster, but I think people who weren't privy to Rebels did not see him as a formidable foe at all.
Yeah.
Those of us who have
well, even if he did see Rebels, he didn't do anything that really
would
added to his resume of being conniving and actually a menace and savage. All he did was stand there and give order to the Night Sisters, and then they fled the planet. Like, he didn't do anything, really.
We don't see as much of his prowess as we do in Rebels. Those of us who, we know him to be formidable. We know what he's capable of, and they didn't really unlock all of that in Ahsoka. So point being, I would prefer them to just continue to hone that versus introduce yet another mysterious character. Oh, it's Barriss! And that way it then becomes very... I mean, granted, Ahsoka is the most entrenched show, I think, out of all of the live-action ones. The most... It necessitates viewing of all of the other, Rebels, Clone Wars. You have to. It's the most reliant. So, if they were to introduce Barriss in that... years later, that it would certainly be dramatic. It would certainly be high stakes, but it seems like Ahsoka has very much made peace with her past following season 1, and Barriss, an introduction in down the line, would just open a wound that she seemingly healed. I don't know. I'm not sure. I would prefer them. I don't know. I don't know if I would think Barriss is gonna get absolutely slaughtered by Darth Vader, but I feel like there needs to be some explanation as to why she's not present down the line.
I just wish that it was live action.
Why? You said that.
Because
as soon as we saw the trailer.
Like, these stories are so good, make a live action miniseries. If we got... why not? Like, they're good stories, and they're great in animation, but, like, if it's such a good story, it's a perfect opportunity to do in live action. Granted, with live action, there's more expectations, and
I think it would be harder
focus on other live action shows, then it's more costly. Like, this is presumably way cheaper, so that's why they can do it.
They're also covering way more ground. I mean, for Dooku, for example, they would have had to cast potentially, well, they'd have younger iterations of all the characters.
I'll do it.
You'll do the casting?
Yeah. No, I'll be Dooku.
Okay.
I just need to grow out my pointed flow that he had, and then be good.
Yeah. I see some of you guys in the chat talking about the main actor from, oh my god, Shogun, expressing that he would want to be in Star Wars. He frickin' would be perfect for Star Wars.
Where's the goat?
Yeah, can you...
dude from Continental Osaka?
Yeah, you can't talk because...
He's the goat just from that movie.
I know. Can y'all please... I need backup here. Can you guys please help me give Tom the motivation to start Shogun? He finally did say that he wants to watch it.
I fell asleep.
You fell the frick asleep. You also said you didn't like it. You said, I don't know anything that's going on.
And I fell asleep.
And fell asleep and then left. Please, guys, help me. Help me.
Said the same thing about Dune. I fell asleep the first 4 times ever trying to watch the first Dune movie. And then after Dune 2 came out and everybody said it was fantastic, which we finally saw it.
Thank God.
Confirmed it's fantastic. Was finally motivated enough to watch the whole first movie and got through it. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Were you able to dodge spoilers?
But the second one is just a straight continuation of the first one, and it's incredible. Dodge spoilers for what? The second
Dune
one?
2, yeah.
I
I didn't even ask if you were handling it well.
For the most part, yeah. The only thing that got spoiled were the clips of him screaming silence to
the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah. And then Starsguard, no, not Starsguard, Stelgar, Steingard, Stilgar, the clip, the shot of him. Lisan, and you saw that,
yes.
But there's no context, it's just a meme, basically.
I was just waiting for all right, I've seen this meme 1,000 times.
I knew he eventually rode the worm. I knew that was a spoiler, but outside of that, I didn't know really anything. So
here we go, the Shogun love in the chat, in Palpatine's voice. Do it for Shogun. Shogun is easily the best show on TV at the moment, and the latest episode was elite. Shogun is great. Would recommend. Do it. Shogun is the best show so far this year. Thank you guys. Thank you. This is what I need.
Yeah. How many of you have seen Three Body Problem?
Oh my gosh.
I saw someone earlier when I just walked in saying they watched Three Body Problem.
So. Ooh. Yeah, I feel like that will like slowly catch on, that show, because I think we binged it rather rapidly.
Yeah, right. Pretty much as soon as it came out.
As soon as it dropped. So I think we gotta wait for the bandwagon to start for that. Yeah. But everyone is watching The Bad Batch. I'm watching Blackthorn and Shogun. That's right. I keep forgetting that even Bad Batch is coming out tonight. Lots going on with that.
Is it one episode tonight? We thinking?
I think, because if I try to, I might actually try to stay up for it. Visitor Zeta, yes. Three Body Problem was amazing. Loved it.
Awesome, Zeta.
Glad that you liked it. Where am I going with this? So yes, I don't know. To bring it all back. I don't know. It's clear. Yeah, we'll do a premature poll. We'll do an early poll. We'll cement it with our usual.
How do you spell Barris? B-A-R.
I have it literally on the screen.
You do.
I literally have it. No, you can't do that. You can't say that. No, stop. You're gonna accidentally post it.
Can I say butchered?
Sure.
Butchered by Lord Vader.
All right, assume your pole positions, everybody. But as mentioned, we gave it away. Will Lord Vader eliminate Barris? Question is, will Barris get butchered by Vader?
See?
Yes or no?
Or no?
But it seems the consensus is everybody's kind of everybody sees it happening. I haven't seen Three Body Problem. Gotta check that out. It is a really good. I feel like I almost need to re-watch it now that we've seen it all the way through. I don't know. My brain. I need like it's similar with the Dune books. Like I need to reread all of them because you read it once and your brain is still just like what. So now I feel like I definitely want to reread freaking Messiah. Dune Messiah fans, sign off in the chat. If you're ready for everyone to collectively lose their marbles when that one comes out. No spoilers. Yep. No spoilers.
Yeah, third movie. Yeah, I'm up for the third movie.
Yes.
Dune 2 is really good. Like, really, really good. I mean,
In
for
terms
someone
of...
who didn't really like the first one and fell asleep the first 4 times watching it, eventually I watched the whole thing when Dune 2 came out, and everyone said it was the greatest thing ever. But like pretty much the entire second half of Dune 2 in the theater, I had like full body goosebumps with just the grand scale of everything and the score and the way that they built up the story to that point over 2 movies. I mean, so powerful, so good. So
yeah, no, it was definitely. I don't know if I feel like if I were to make a video on it at this point, it's so far behind. We're so late to the game that I don't even know if anyone would watch if I filmed a review. But I do know that I definitely want to film a reaction now that I have seen, you know, this modern version, part 1 and 2 as a whole concluded. I want to go and watch the original, like, Kyle MacLachlan version. to compare. But that I already know it's going to be wildly different because it's 2 movies worth that they stretched out and still had to sacrifice some things versus condensed into one, the original film. Well, I don't know, but I kind of want to film a reaction to it just to see. I'll give it a chance. But yes, everyone's sounding off. Somebody said that Barris will die braver than most. She probably will.
Yeah, I mean, we're 2/3 in favor of yes, 1/3 thinks no. For the 1/3 that think no, do you think that she'll show up in Ahsoka? And that's why you think there's no way they would kill her off here. Are they using this as an introduction? I mean, they've got what's her name? Morgan. They've got Morgan in here, so is it really they're
setting up
the side villains of Ahsoka series, giving more context to them, both the one we already know and the potential future one in Barris? Maybe that's
if that were the case,
that's what they're doing
they
here.
should have done a Thrawn. I think they should have done. Granted, we already get enough.
Thrawn's in this.
Yeah, but he's not going to be the central. I mean, we'll see.
It's the master-apprentice relationship.
See. The Sting is Fade is a thing. Burgess, I know I'm most curious about that comparison. The 80s Dune movie. Oh god. Now y'all are making me nervous. The OG Dune is worth checking out because not amazing, but it's a fun watch. Yeah, no, I think it would make for a fun reaction, especially now that I've finally seen Dune 2. I hope that she doesn't die, so that she'll hopefully show up in Ahsoka. Although I think she will die, sadly. I think they're setting up Asajj Ventress to show up in Ahsoka. Just a thought. There have been whispers, I think, following her appearance in The Bad Batch. I think people are requesting a spin-off show for her. I think the 2 possible rumored spin-offs from Bad Batch, which I hope there's something. Even if it doesn't spin off of Bad Batch, I think there needs... We need Star Wars animation to be alive, to stay alive. They can do so much with the animation. That's why I'm like intrigued by the fact that you want to see this in live action, because like I would argue that there are things in the animation that are just you can't replicate. I think Avatar on Netflix was proof of that. Like some things you just cannot
because
replicate.
They changed the story. Character-wise, I think that they nailed a lot of it, except for Roku.
Well, we voiced our qualms about that.
But character-wise and mannerisms and stuff, I mean, Sokka's eyes aren't popping out of his head, but like he's still sarcastic and.
No, I just think there's things with choreography, with visuals, with scenery that you can do so much better in animation. Like, and Star Wars animation is proof. This is why I think Star Wars has been pivotal.
Star Wars animation looks realistic.
Yeah,
it's realism.
It's getting better and better. Yeah. It's getting better and better and better. It's like I was thinking about it the other day. Like if you look at the graphics from like season 1 of Clone Wars to like now, you know how much it has grown and flourished. And I would argue that Star Wars animation, their animated projects like Clone Wars and Rebels specifically, are prime examples to just be used in the larger argument of cinema and film and TV as a whole. That animation is perfectly valid and can be equally investing and emotional. Some of the most emotional and some of the biggest highlights of Star Wars, the entire canon, take place in animation.
Yeah.
Like, and I think Star Wars animation in particular has offered such great world building. Like that's why I don't even care if their next if there is another animation project in the works for Star Wars to replace once Bad Batch comes to a close. I don't even care if it's necessarily a spin-off or has anything to do with the Bad Batch. I just want something because it continues to, you know, flesh out the world. That's why I think there are great spin-off ideas coming out of Bad Batch. But I almost want them to go a different direction, do a different time period. Maybe start delving closer to like Acolyte time period. Flesh that out to offer some more like context or High Republic stuff. Like I actually wouldn't be shocked if they went that direction, because I think a lot of people aren't necessarily turned off, but we're charting into new territory when it comes to the Acolyte, and I think everyone's just a little bit like feeling like interesting. This is interesting. Like, is the Star? It feels different from the Star Wars that we know, just because it's so foreign, such a different time period. Dave, thank you so much again, my friends. Rika and Hunter need to order 66. I know. Can we freaking? I'm
Sid's
sorry.
gonna show up.
Listen. Can it be her death? All right, listen. I had to edit out so much. Sorry, sirens, real quick. They're coming to get me because I'm trash talking Sid.
Yeah.
I really had to edit out so much of myself like freaking out from my last Bad Batch reactions videos because I went in on Sid. However, it's heavily implied because at first I interpreted it as she just offered up the intel on Fee. You know, no questions asked because we know her. She's prone to do that. She doesn't give a shiz about anybody. Ooh, Stanley said, I'd assume the operative killed Sid. Yeah, that's extreme. I was at least giving her trying to give her the benefit of the doubt to assume, okay, he alluded to the fact that he had to pull info out of the Trandoshan, which to me means he had to do some work.
Oh, I didn't even connect. The Trandoshan was Sid.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about
That's why I was freaking. I like literally was punching the air in my reaction. Yeah, she gave up information on Fee so that they could go and get into her ship and find the location. That's why I'm like, ugh.
I didn't even. No, if she was dead, they would have showed it.
If Sid died,
they would have showed it.
They make us all feel bad.
They spent like the whole show making us hate this character.
I don't think they want us to. I actually don't think they want us to.
She betrayed them. Of course they want us to. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't.
I think they do. It's like Pong Krell. They want us to like Pong Krell. I mean, Pong Krell's arguably worse. You know who Pong Krell is?
Yes, I know who Pong. I'm thinking.
Diner Jedi.
I'm thinking about whether or not they
Dexter
designed
Jedi.
Sid to be likable. If they like seriously thought people would like her, or if it is intended for all of us to hate her guts.
I mean, whether it's intentional or not, pretty much everyone unanimously hates her guts. Maybe Sid becomes an Inquisitor, and instead of Vader killing Barrett, he uses Sid as an example and slaughters Sid. Inquisitor Sid.
I reckon Sid lived by selling out the others. Oh yeah, that's why I tried to not assume that she just readily gave up that information on Fee's whereabouts and the fact that she would have perhaps location for the Bad Batch.
Hey, Josh. No, they know we hate Sid. They hate Sid.
Dude, I hope because I almost feel bad for the amount of trash talking that I do about Sid. Still fearful that she's gonna get a freaking redemption arc, like that we're all gonna be we're out here trash talking her. I'm grateful. I made the connection. I didn't even think about this when we did our stream a few weeks ago. We were like, "Is this the best season of the Bad Batch?" I didn't even make the connection that Sid hasn't been seen freaking once. Oh. No wonder this is the best effing season. Oh. She's. Y'all know I censor myself, but I really want to drop the F-bomb right now. We haven't seen effing Sid, and the show has been better for that. I almost don't want them to show her at this point, because you know what they're gonna freaking do? They know we're all back here on the sidelines, like, F her, take all of the Bad Batch's pain and give it to effing Sid. She effing sucks. Please, can we get revenge? Can we see Hunter and Wrecker freaking annihilate her?
No.
They know we're all on the sidelines begging for that. They're gonna freaking, we're gonna get to Sid. They're gonna freaking redeem her somehow. Make us all feel bad.
No, they're gonna fake redeem her. Like, they're gonna give her, like, she's gonna try and redeem herself, but then Vader's gonna step in and just cut her head off or something, and just like stop her brutally from redeeming her.
We can only hope.
And everybody watching will be like, that is way more satisfying than her just dying.
They wouldn't give us that satisfaction.
She like actually has a change of heart, but it's too late, and she just gets taken out anyway. That would be the greatest thing to witness from an audience perspective. So
we could only be so lucky. I don't think Vader would even waste his energy on her though.
Yeah.
She's so not worth his trouble. I wish. We can literally only pray. I bet though, because I've been wondering, especially after the last few episodes, where now Sid's really in the gutter. Now she's really like on my target don't like you list.
No.
She has cemented herself there. And I've been curious, are they even going to try to bring her? Are they going to dare? Do they have the audacity to bring her back on and make us all foam at the mouth, seething with hatred? And I was wondering, because I was like, yeah, shoot, they've spared us. The season's been so effing good because she hasn't been in the freaking show. Like, it's literally going to be unbearable to ever go back and rewatch seasons 1 or 2 because she is awful. She's the worst. I could go on. But now I've been curious, if they bring her back, to what extent would it be? Because Star Wars isn't one for, oh, the Hunter and Wrecker are going to go get revenge. However, there are other interesting theories, though, that we could talk about. But I think one way they could bring her back, a possibility, is now they know that she talked to, like, the Shadow clone. Well, they don't know. They might be able to put 2 and 2 together and figure out, okay, how did the Shadow clone track us?
Well, now that Omega's gone again, yeah, maybe they do figure it out, and they go confront her
and trace it back to her, because they might be like, hey.
And then they use her as bait to get in contact with the Shadow clone, and then that's it. That's we just switch. Get rid of this Barris thing. We're talking about Bad Batch now. We're unlocking. I'm gonna get rid of this. We're unlocking the mysteries of the Bad Batch. So that's exactly what happens. They do the reverse engineering, reverse investigation to figure out how they got found. They point it back to Sid. The Bad Batch isn't going to do anything, but they're going to use her to set up a trap for the contact. Then the Shadow Trooper is going to go back and meet Sid. Then they're going to take the Shadow Trooper captive and then use that as the connection to get back to Tantus. Then Sid is going to go with them to Tantus. Since she brought them there, then whoever is just going to execute Sid on the spot. And then the Bad Batch will be there.
Here's the thing, though.
And that's plausible.
Why
that makes sense.
Is it, though? Because it does make sense that they go to Sid to try to trace it back to the Shadow Clone to see if she has any idea of where he came from. But they made it evident they're not after Hunter, Wrecker, Crosshair now at all. They were given orders to neutralize them, like not round them up, like, oh yeah, get them and bring them back to Tantus with the girl, they were given orders to kill them on sight if they interfered with trying to recapture Omega. So, I don't know, I mean, perhaps, like, that would be, if Sid were to be like, hey, I have clones here that you can come and arrest, like, if they were to force her to stage some bait, I don't know.
She got Omega captured twice now.
She is the worst. She freaking stinks. But some people, did you see that some people had theories that Hunter perhaps could have snuck onto the ship that departed with Omega from Pabu? Because they don't show him. They only show him get off the beach.
No, that's what happened.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
I don't know. Totally what happened.
Yeah. You're right. They didn't show him get off the beach. He pulled an Obi-Wan with Padme's ship in Revenge of the Sith. That's totally what happened. So Crosshair goes to find a Sid. He goes to trace it down because they're not going to be able to communicate with Crosshair. Crosshair would have no problem killing Sid, I don't think.
Dave makes a good point. Sid doesn't know Crosshair. He could possibly kill her. That would be so satisfying. That would be so satisfying.
That's very true.
He can avenge them all. Charlie, thank you so much, my friend.
Charlie.
I barely do super chats. I will make it brief. Tom, give Shogun one more try. Do it for the watermelon. Tom has not ingested a single watermelon since.
I don't
Charlie.
think so. Not even a chunk.
Okay, carry on. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. No, you guys are giving me fuel. Thank you. Yeah. I'm literally gonna make Tom sit and rewatch the first episode with me tonight. I'm still so behind. I've only actually seen the first 2 episodes still. I've not watched the whole show. See, you'll like this. We're so behind that we'll be able to binge through like the whole thing. You appreciate that.
I got like 40 minutes into the first one.
You didn't. You got 4 minutes into the first one.
No.
You got 4 minutes in.
No, 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 no.
If only Alex and Zach were here. Oh yeah, the Sid slander would be. Pew, pew. We know how they feel about her. Don't say
But
Sid's name to Zach.
Charlie, in your honor, I will rewatch. I will give it another go. So, thank you, sir, for the super chat.
I thought that somehow Omega snuck another tracker on her person. Yeah, I don't. There's. I do totally believe the theory that Hunter could have snuck onto the ship that took her back to Tantus. However, I think they're really setting up like there was still unfinished, things weren't fully patched or resolved with Hunter and Crosshair. And now that Wrecker is pretty I don't know if he's officially out for the count, but he's wounded. He's not going to be full, he's not operating at full peak performance mode. Hunter and Crosshair, I feel like, because that was my biggest fear. Like, shoot, Crosshair just let her go, and now he's done exactly what he accused Hunter of doing back on Outpost, which is you lost her when I was the one who helped her escape. Yeah. So now Hunter is gonna rendezvous and be like, what the frick, man? Like, WTF? But perhaps he could have put 2 and 2 together, because I'm sure he realized, like, Batcher, they're showing up to him on the beach. If Batcher is like Omega's shadow.
Yeah.
If Omega's not here, then she must be in danger. So perhaps he could have.
I think that's actually exactly what happened. I think they didn't show us in the episode so that you got the feeling that you're talking about of, oh, Crosshair was accusing Hunter of failing, but now he failed. So now Crosshair has to live with that. But I think the beginning of the episode is going to quickly show us, like, Crosshair will assume that Hunter got on the ship, because Crosshair sees Hunter swimming, right?
Yeah, he confirms that he's Hunter okay.
Swimming. Yeah, so he knows he's alive. When he can't find him, he's going to know that he went to Tantus, but he's also going to know that Hunter and Omega can't contact him unless Hunter, like, hijacks the ship before it gets there, and then they escape. But he probably wants to know where it's going, unless he can hijack the ship, go into the manifest, and then see exactly where they're headed, or the travel log where it came from. They probably wiped the log, but you could probably at least see where they're headed. Very interesting.
Yeah, we'll find out tonight. We don't have to dwell on it for much longer. Yeah. Matthew Tarpley, this is also another very discussed topic. Does anyone think that the mystery clone assassin could be Tech? I've seen... I think I know those were the theories. I think I got that out of my mind in episode, 6 or 7 during Extraction. I don't think it's Tech.
Because Tech was on Pabu's. Well, they mind wipe them, so...
I don't think I've seen theories that it could be Tech. People are very dedicated to that. People are going out composing a full thesis on Twitter about, here are 30 reasons why this clone is Tech, a thread, and it's 30 well thought out reasons, comparisons to his mannerisms and speech patterns and everything. But then I saw a theory, maybe was it one of you guys in the comment section? Somebody, I can't take any credit for this at all, somebody said they think it could be, what if they cloned Crosshair, and the Crosshair that we see that escaped with Omega is
a phony?
A phony, because his hand's not fully, working. And what if actual Crosshair is the one that's hunting them down? Because if you notice, he's a good sniper. He's a pretty good shot.
But that would... In Attack of the Clones, it takes them 10 years to age a clone from infant to full adult. So...
They would have had to fast track.
Yeah. They would have had to multiply that by months. Isn't Omega there for 4 months, 3 months or something? Isn't that what it was? I mean, Crosshair was there earlier, but it's not years. It's still in the order of months that Crosshair is on Tantus. So they would have had to rapidly accelerate that, which, I mean, granted, we're at this point, 5 years after Attack of the Clones. So, perhaps.
I hope Tech is not the shadow clone. Just let his sacrifice be that, a sacrifice. Yeah, Sal, I kind of agree. Um, we're spending a lot of time on this particular clone assassin operative.
Oh.
I know the amount of time, they've really carved him out to be a menace for the group this season, but I agree with Darnok Kalig there. I'm in support of it being Tech only because of the emotional damage it would bring. Like, it certainly would be a mind. I don't know how mind-blowing it would necessarily be at this point because a lot of people maybe suspect it and have been theorizing about it, but it would still be like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that, if that was the decision they made. It would hurt so bad. It would hurt a lot. But I think there are bigger surprises, bigger blows that could still be in store here. This is the final season. I think there's more in the works beyond if they were just building up to that. Granted, that would literally be soul crushing.
Yep.
And I would commend them because, while yes, it would still kind of fuel the argument that nobody dies permanently in Star Wars anymore. Sure, but this would be a really sick, twisted, emotional way to bring somebody back. That would hurt. I think they gave the operative some of Crosshair's abilities, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we know he was in training to become one of them. Who's to say they didn't somehow give or take a little bit? I don't know. I
think it makes sense that it's Tech. I actually.
You believe it now?
I think, yeah. I think that. I mean, I saw someone else say that it could be Cody, but Tech would be the soul crushing turn of this show for sure.
Dave says it's definitely Tech because only one Bad Batch member has ever used that word, domicile. The same word that the Shadow Clone mentioned. That is a really good point, and that is a very niche vocab word to use. I do think that these Shadow Clones are the predecessors to what the Death Troopers will become. I'm hoping that they're holding back a huge character from the trailers that we'll see before the show ends, right? Like, I think there's still hope for a Vader appearance, y'all. I think there could be a time jump to the end of the season, not sure why, just got a feeling, potentially. I don't know, we'll see. There's a lot in store. Yes, Daddy Josh, I've seen others say it could be Cody. I don't know. We're getting down to the wire. There's only 4 episodes left.
Yeah, I mean, for the Vader topic, if you're going to have something threaten Palpatine's prized possession, the only reason to not have Vader help protect it is if Palpatine doesn't want Vader to know about it. I think that's debunked because in the comics, we know that Vader goes to Exegol. In the Empire Strikes Back time frame, we know Vader actually goes to Exegol. With Palpatine as a test. Palpatine tests him and there's a giant monster or whatever that's there. So I think the fact that Vader's been there, Palpatine has taken him there, I think maybe that's an evolution. And maybe initially Palpatine doesn't want Vader to know about it. I mean, this is still very, very early on in their master-apprentice relationship. Very close to after Anakin turns. But perhaps, I think the only reason Vader wouldn't get involved is if Palpatine didn't want him to, because he doesn't want Vader to know about the project for some reason. Otherwise, if you have the most important thing that Palpatine cares about, and it's under threat of being destroyed, why would you not use every asset you can to protect it? Unless he just does it himself. I'm hoping Palpatine just does it himself, and Palpatine shows up and defends it himself, and he's the one who goes butcher mode and butchers whoever needs to butcher for their failure for failing Tantus or trying to protect it. That's what I hope. And Palpatine would leave probably no survivors. Imperial or not.
Imperial, yeah, because he can't have witnesses. Nobody's privy to the fact that he's a awful Sith Lord.
Except for Mas Meda.
Obviously. Yeah, but we know he's not going to tattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be interesting. My mom showed up, unfortunately, right here at the end. Yeah. We're getting ready to sign off. There's always somebody who tunes in. Look at y'all. Thank y'all for blowing up the lights tonight. It's
Yeah.
always fun when everybody changes them up. Again, it is a members only perk. But thank you to the members who've been changing up the lights this evening. I appreciate it. I guess we'll find out. We're coming down to the wire here, so only a few more Bad Batch is left.
Yep.
Yeah, this was a fun. We covered a lot of ground. I didn't think
Yeah.
we were going to segue from Tales of the Jedi into
Yeah.
Bad Batch, but
About
it's getting
half
good.
Tales of the Jedi, half Bad Batch.
It's
So
getting really good.
good stream.
And you guys
for sure.
have helped me achieve my goal of convincing Tom to finally watch Shogun.
Oh.
So it was a good sign though. I went to go catch up on it and finally start rewatching some of it the other day, and Tom said, "No, wait for me." So we know he's definitely interested. And once we finally finish, maybe we'll have a Shogun themed stream, because clearly this is like the show of the year. Super popular.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's doing so well. The hype is real. It's Dork Discourse 50. Oh yeah, we still have to make up for our 50th episode. Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah,
50 episodes.
You put episode 50 in the title. Did you realize when you typed it out
Yes.
that it was 50?
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, shnikes. I was like,
Yeah.
shoot.
Oh.
So yes, and then I remember that we had discussed perhaps doing something fun for our 50th, and then we didn't.
Yes.
So apologies. We will make up for that. Give us some ideas if you guys have any, but I think there might be some sort of trivia, some sort of fun and games in the works, that with some punishments perhaps in store for those of you who are familiar with the punishment wheel. So maybe we'll whip that out.
All right. To demonstrate, Kat's going to do whatever punishment it lands on right now.
No.
10 push-ups.
I can't even do one. I'll start beefing up. I gotta bulk up. Can we make some of these less physical punishments, please?
100 push-ups. No, I
Anyway,
could do 100 push-ups.
happy Tuesday, everybody, or Wednesday for those of you in the future, my friends. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our 50th episode of Dork Discourse.
Yes.
But again, it slipped my mind. That's on me. We'll do something actually celebratory, maybe next week or in the coming weeks as a celebratory. Woo, 50. But until then, thank you guys so very much for watching. I will catch you guys when my episode reaction for this week's episode of Bad Batch comes out. Hopefully sometime maybe tomorrow or Thursday. But until then, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, morning, weekend. What? Day, night, morning, evening, 3 a.m. What do I always say? Day, night, morning, evening, 3 a.m.
Breakfast, second breakfast, third breakfast, and midnight.
Whatever time it may be for you. And we will see you guys again very, very soon. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yep. Another awesome episode. Cheers to 50, and here's
And
to
beyond.
the next 50. So
Woohoo!
it's been a great ride. Hope you guys enjoy it. I know we have a lot of fun doing it.
We do.
So
and thanks again to everyone
yeah.
who super chatted this evening. We
Yes.
appreciate you.
Yeah, it's awesome. You guys are
Means
too
a lot.
kind. Too
Means
kind.
a lot.
So
All
it
right.
goes towards incredible purchases like this.
Like
week.
our
So,
wheel. Best business
wheel
person.
and the lights. And this chair, the infamous gaming chair here that I'm sitting in.
Yep.
You guys are awesome. You're all awesome. So,
Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm trying to sign off. We are not good at signing off. I just have to cut us off. Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you guys. May the force be with you all. We'll see you guys again very, very soon.
Ta-ta.
Oh, whoops. Come on. Not now. Not now, clicker. Not now.
Ta-ta.
Oh my god, Matt. That was
See you guys later.
so awkward. No, my mouse.
Have a good one.
Oh my god. Bye, guys.